Okay, we're going to end up continuing our review of solving equations. These are single-stepped equations. We have already done addition and subtraction. Today we're going to solve them using multiplication and division. So much like we had the addition and subtraction properties of equality, we also have the multiplication property of equality. And this, again, basically states the same thing. If we have an equation that's equal to each other, the left side is equal to the right side, whatever. If we do something to the left side and we do the identical thing to the right side, our resulting answer is 12 equals 12. And we know that. So if we're solving using multiplication, here we have t divided by 3 equals 7. In this case, it is a positive number. If I multiply by 3, on the left side, the 3's cancel out, leaving t. On the right side, we get 7 times 3 is 21. And again, like our problems the other day, if we needed to, we could go in and substitute and solve to make sure that the two are equal to verify that, yes, our answer is correct. Okay, now when we're looking at using a fraction, this particular one, this first one, 2 1/4, I would go ahead and change it to an improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So we end up with 9/4 g equals 1/2. In this case, what I would do, and I'll go ahead and change colors, I would multiply by the reciprocal of 9/4. You might recall any number times its reciprocal is always 1. So that will simplify this to 1g, or we often just write g. Again, whatever I do to the left side, I need to do to the right side. So again, multiply by 4/9. We could, if you follow my logic here, go 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 9 is 18, and simplify. Again, I prefer simplifying before multiplying when I see it. Okay, so what I did is I had 4, divided that by 2, that left me with an answer of 2. 2 I divided by 2, that also ends up leaving me with an answer of 1. At that point, I just go 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 9 is 9, and I end up with g equals 2/9. If I had gone to the 4/18, I can simplify 4/18 to 2/9. This next one they put in with multiplying by a fraction also. You might recall that the reciprocal of -6 would be -1/6. So if I multiply this by -1/6 and this by -1/6, I end up with m isolated, and then 42 times -1/6 ends up being -42/6. Many of us will skip this step and go right to -7, and we get an answer here. The second example on this page here, many of us would have solved that using division, and either way works, and both would give you the same answer. So again, the division property of equality, basically if I have an equal statement and I divide the left side by the same thing that I divide the right side by, I should end up with a resulting equation or statement that is true. So here I have 13s, divide by 13 on the left side and the right side of the equation. They cancel out and I get s equals, go ahead and do this out. I know the answer, but again, to encourage you guys to take the time to write it out. So our answer, s equals 15. When I have a negative coefficient, so the 3 is negative, I would go ahead and divide by a -3. And that ends up leaving us with x equals -4. And again, if I wanted to check this out, does -3 times -4 equal 12? You can say yes. In fact, they are equal statements. And so we can check our work. So go ahead, hit pause, try these 3 problems on your own, and check your answers in a moment. So our answers are there. If you have questions on how I solved those, don't hesitate to ask in class tomorrow. I worked through them pretty quick, and today didn't talk my way through them, as I have in the past. Okay, so taking a look at a real-world example. Slide that down a little bit. If we have an item's weight on the moon ends up being about 1/6 of its weight on Earth. So Neil Armstrong has a suit and life support backpack on the moon. It states down here is 33 pounds. How much would that weigh on Earth? So we need to set up an equation for this situation and then end up determining what the actual weight would be. So we know that from reading down through this, would be 1/6 its weight would be 33 pounds. So on the moon it was 33 pounds. How much is that going to be on Earth? So that would be the equation we need to work from. Here if I go 6 over 1, again multiplying by its reciprocal, we end up with W equals 33 times 6. 198. So we get an answer of 198 pounds. Again, this particular lesson should be relatively short. A review of a lot of what we did last year. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow.